Your next reading is Ethics and Trust in Investment Profession. These are the learning outcome statement, and the key areas include you need to learn some definitions. You need what is the need for having a code of ethics for any organization, and some ethical principles and its application in decision-making process. So these are the key areas covered in this specific reading. Okay, first LOS says explain ethics. Well, there is no universal definition of ethics because this is something that cannot be defined, because ethics is quite a relative term. But at least generally, what do we mean by ethics? Ethics is simply a set of shared beliefs regarding what is good or socially acceptable and what is bad or socially unacceptable behavior. So basically, the difference between good and bad, acceptable behavior versus unacceptable behavior, that's what ethics is all about. So basically, ethics are entrenched in moral principles. And moral principles are heavily influenced by religion, by customs, traditions, and of course, the societal expectations. All right. As we can see that ethics is something that cannot be defined, it varies from place to place. But having a shared belief between good and bad, acceptable or unacceptable behavior, ethical conduct has also been described as a conduct that improves outcome for different stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Those people that are directly or indirectly affected by what a business does or what we do as managers of businesses or investment firms. Various stakeholders like clients whose money we manage, co-workers who work with us, our employers, and overall the profession in which we are working, the investment profession itself. So basically, ethics involve when we do something good for ourselves, that is positive for me, something beneficial for me, but it may have some negative consequences for other stakeholders. Like for example, if I charge a very heavy fee of managing funds, so that's good for me, but it has negative consequences for the stakeholders, the investors. They will get lesser profit that will be distributed amongst them. So we need to balance the individual self-interest with the impact of this interest on the other. So this is ethics all about. Next learning outcome statement says describe the role of a code of ethics in defining a profession. First of all, what is a code of ethics? Code of ethics basically is a written set of moral principles that can guide behavior by describing what is considered acceptable behavior. Like many organizations have code of ethics, and this is basically a way to communicate to the employees, the management, regarding the values, the principles and expectations of the organization. And the employees and relevant individuals within the organization are expected to follow these principles, these values. Some codes of ethics include a set of rules or standards that require some minimum level of ethical behavior. It is not mandatory for organizations to have a code of ethics, but if code of ethics is drawn out and communicated to the employees, then they will have the idea what they are expected to do. Otherwise, if code of ethics is absent, then individuals will use their own hunches, their own moral code of ethics. Everyone will have his or her own code of ethics. So they will take decision depending upon their own personal code of ethics. So it's always advisable under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, Section 207, that is studied in CM, and that the organization should have code of ethics that will define what is expected from the employees' do's and don'ts. It's basically a way to communicate the values and principles an expectation that organization have from the people or the employees working within the organization. All right. Then profession. What is a profession? Profession basically refers to a group of people with specialized skills and knowledge who serve others, like chartered accountants. They have specialized skills of auditing, they have knowledge of the law, accounting standards, auditing standards, and they serve their clients with their services, audit, consultancy, due diligence, etc. So such individuals, professionals with specialized skill and knowledge, they are basically expected to behave in accordance with the code of ethics. So almost every professional accounting organization, like I'm a member of ACCA, Institute of Internal Auditors, as well as Institute of Management Accountants, Institute of Certified Management Accountants. So as a member of these bodies, I am expected to comply with the professional code of ethics. Similarly, the CF Institute has also a code of ethics which the members are expected to comply with. Your next LOS is describe professions and how they establish trust. So basically, profession is an occupational group like accountants, fund managers, auditors, lawyers, tax consultants. So it's an occupational group that has requirement of specialized expert knowledge. So just a little while ago I told you that being a professional member or professional accountant of an accountancy body, I am expected to follow a code of professional ethics, code and standard for professional behavior. Not only that, as a professional accountant or auditor or tax consultant, I will also have to follow the guidelines of regulatory bodies like Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan, SEC in the US, Securities Exchange Board